achievements and daily news and sports news. Apart from that, our Indian ethos, Indian tradition, Indian culture. So the radio played a crucial role to communicate the government achievements and other related news to the common man. And I appreciate all the community radio founders here, the assembled from South Indian wide, because of community radio is also played and playing the major role to take your area, particularly universities and some area of the tribal areas, coastal areas, and you are all playing and you are contributing to carry the news to the particular sector. The university is taking classes and reach out the university messages to the faculties as well as the students. In Mysore, I attended one community radio inauguration. I think JKK community radio station. So I appreciate them, how they are playing, because I visited them, that's why I am mentioning here. So they maintain very good, and the community radio, you can't tell that is a community radio station, it is like a full-fledged radio station. Like I appeal all the community radio founders here to take the government messages, and our government is also now relaxed the norms for you, for the content, and apart from the advertisements also, for friendly and help to the community radios. So we recently made some policies accordingly to the community radio providers for the recruitment, for the requests are addressed here. In the recent days, under the dynamic leader, our Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji is concerned about the border villages. And our Prime Minister always mentions that border village is not the last village. The border villages are the first village of the country. So in this part, our ministry, our Honorable Minister, Sri Anurag Singh Thakur ji, and our team worked towards that to reach out to the all borders for the broadcast infrastructure development fund. The first time in the history, 2,500 crore are allotted to the broadcasting infrastructure development fund to reach out all the borders, whether it is in coastal, whether it is in North Himalayan areas, and whether it is in forest areas. All border villages are strengthened the communication system. The bind is playing a major role to provide the infrastructure. Recently, I thanked our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji. Recently, our Prime Minister visited to the Tamil Nadu, particularly in Chennai. Our Prime Minister launched DD Tamil for revamped channel. Already it was in DD Podigai. Now a relaunch for the strengthening of the regional channels, for the modification of the regional channels, inclusion of the technology and the programs modified accordingly to the viewers and the current news debates, like what other TV channels, they are telecasting the program. The same manner, the DD Tamil is launched and is getting popular and successful among the Tamil community throughout the world. DD பொதிகையானது மாண்புமிகு பாரத பிரதமர் திரு நரேந்திர மோடிஜி அவர்களால் சென்னையில டிடி தமிழாக அதாவது ரீவேம்ப்ட் என்று சொல்லக்கூடிய அனைத்து டெக்னாலஜி இன்க்ளூட் பண்ணி டிஜிட்டல் வால், டிடிஹெச், இப்படி அனைத்து டெக்னாலஜியும் கொடுத்து மக்கள் விருப்பத்திற்கேற்ற அந்த டிடி தமிழை மாண்புமிகு பிரதமர் திரு நரேந்திர மோடிஜி அவர்கள் தமிழகத்திற்கு கொடுத்திருக்கிறார்கள். அதற்காக நான் மாண்புமிகு பிரதமர் திரு நரேந்திர மோடிஜி அவர்களுக்கு தமிழ் மக்கள் சார்பாக இந்த நேரத்தில் நன்றிகளை சொல்லிக்கொண்டு, இந்த கம்யூனிட்டி ரேடியோ இன்றைக்கு மிக வேகமாக வளர்ந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறது. கிட்டத்தட்ட 481 கம்யூனிட்டி ரேடியோஸ் ஆல்ரெடி பிரசன்ஸ்ல இருந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறது. இன்னும் வர காலம் இன்னொரு 200 கம்யூனிட்டி ரேடியோஸ் வர இருக்கிறது. நியூ ஸ்டார்ட் அப் கம்பெனிஸ் எல்லாமே இன்னைக்கு ரொம்ப வேகமாக வந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறார்கள். அவர்கள் எல்லாம் கூட கம்யூனிட்டி ரேடியோ செட்டப் பண்றதுல அவர்கள் தங்களை ஈடுபடுத்திக் கொள்ள வேண்டும் என்று இந்த நேரத்தில் கேட்டுக்கொண்டு, இந்த கம்யூனிட்டி ரேடியோ கவர்மெண்ட் கூட உங்களுக்கு கிட்டத்தட்ட கிராண்டாக 10 லட்சம் ரூபாய் கிராண்டாக நாம் கொடுத்துக் கொண்டிருக்கின்றோம். அரசாங்கம், நம்முடைய மத்திய அரசாங்கம் கொடுத்துக் கொண்டிருக்கிறது. மீண்டும் ஒரு முறை உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் என்னுடைய அன்பு கலந்த வாழ்த்துக்களையும் பாராட்டுக்களையும் இந்த உலக ரேடியோ தினத்தில் தெரிவித்துக் கொள்வதோடு, இந்த 20வது கம்யூனிட்டி ரேடியோ செலிபிரேஷன் இந்த மாநாட்டுக்கு வந்த உங்கள் அனைவரையும், இன்றைக்கு முழுவதும் இந்த மாநாடு நடைபெற இருக்கிறது. இந்த மாநாடு வெற்றிகரமாக நடைபெற உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் என்னுடைய வாழ்த்துக்களை தெரிவித்துக் கொண்டு விடைபெறுகிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம். ஜெய் ஹிந்த், ஜெய் பாரத்.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening words. The community radio has played a key role in spreading the message about government policies, and as you have mentioned, the government is going to relax some norms about community radio stations so that the community radio stations can function more effectively. The first community radio station in Anna University was started on February 1st, 2004. Now, after 20 years, we are discussing how we can move forward, and I think today, this World Radio Day will also prove to be historic in the sense that we will be able to find out some more ways, and I think, as the Honorable Minister has indicated, that if the government relax some norms, then the community radio stations will be able to function or will be able to deliver more. Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us Honorable Union Minister of Information and Broadcasting and Youth Affairs and Sports, Shri Anurag Singh Thakur, sir. He is going to deliver the keynote address. The Honorable Minister was to join this event physically, but he could not make it. So he has shared a video message very enlightening video message. I request Mr. Praveen to please play the video.
Namaskar. I am delighted to be among community radio practitioners on the Regional Community Radio Sammelan. I welcome all the community radio stations who are participating in this regional Sammelan. This year, we are celebrating 20 years of community radio in India, when the first CRS was inaugurated in Anna University campus. The journey of community radio in India started in the year 2002 under the able leadership of Prime Minister Bharat Ratna Atal Bihari Vajpayee. When the Government of India approved a policy for the grant of licenses for setting up of community radio stations to well-established educational institutes, including IITs and IIMs. As a result, the first community radio station was inaugurated by Bharat Ratna Shri L.K. Advani ji on 1st February 2004. Considering that community radio represents voice of the community, the government decided to broad base the policy by bringing non-profit organizations like civil society, voluntary organizations, etc. under its ambit in the order to allow greater participation by the civil society on issues relating to development and social change. Sangam Radio of Andhra Pradesh became the first radio operated by not-for-profit organization in the year 2006. So till the year 2014, after completion of a decade, a total of 140 stations only were working. But when Prime Minister Modi took up and he assumed the office in 2014, the government introduced a central sector scheme for grant of support to the sector. Provision for financial assistance were made towards setting up of infrastructure for community radio stations. An amount of 7.5 lakh was provided to the organizations once they set up the community radio station. Further, enhanced support was provided to stations of Northeast for promoting penetration of community radio stations in the Northeast. Further, the provision for emergency grants were also made. Since then, we have come a long way. There were 481 community radio stations presently operational in India, and out of which 117 stations are working in the southern region. The Regional Community Radio Sammelan is a celebration of the important work being done by this sector that is giving voice to the voiceless. Community radio stations offer a platform where content is disseminated in localized dialects and regional languages. And I personally feel, and our government feel, that the vernacular language, local language is very important. That is why the new education policy has also been provided in the local languages. So the local context specific issues are raised and discussed in these stations in local ideals. The government is committed to its mantra of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas and Sabka Prayas. It is important to realize the importance of community radio in this direction. Honorable Prime Minister Modi, in his Man Ki Baat, has shown through personal example as how important the radio medium is, and in both speaking to and listening to the public. Each CRS is a reflection of the local model that has been built over the years and the experiential learnings that have been collected and shared. The Sammelan offers an ideal platform for bringing this community closer and enabling this environment of learning, which would in turn go a long way in multiplying community radio stations in the country. I personally feel that community radio iterates that the right of free speech belongs as much to the last person down a village street as it belongs to anybody in the national capital or in the state capital. However, alongside the right to free speech is the right to information of the listener. The listener has the right to receive information of what the government programs are and what his or her entitlements are, and what is expected of him or her in his or her own language. Community radio does that best, and I've seen that many examples. This is why the government treats community radio as a media that needs its support. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji has envisioned and is committed to make Viksit Bharat, developed India by 2047. In this journey, I believe community radio stations will contribute in their way to encourage people to be part of this journey towards Viksit Bharat. And I'm sure all of you can play a very important role. Community radio stations can take this, idea to the masses. As I mentioned earlier, today the country has 481 odd community radio stations, and this number is set to increase further as government has streamlined the license process. And I'm sure in next 3 years it's going to cross the 1,000 mark. I had been in discussion with various community radio stations, and I found them very enthusiastic and committed. Suggestions given by them have been incorporated in the CRS policy guidelines of the community radio stations. Some of the major policy changes are: now an organization can have more than one CRS in different districts. So if you have a license, you can have more CRS stations. The initial permission period has been increased from 5 years to 10 years. That is the ease of doing business and ease of living by the Modi government. The permissible advertisement duration has been increased from 7 minutes to 10 minutes so that you can earn more and your radio is more sustainable. The rate of advertisement has been increased from rupees 52 per 10 seconds to rupees 74 per 10 seconds for the community radio stations. So India is one of the countries in the subcontinent with a very active community radio sector. It is also important to state that this active sector is supported by a proactive government that engages with the community radio stations and all stakeholders and practitioners who give their best in building a people's community radio movement that can give a voice to the voiceless. So my friends, I urge you all to keep this spirit of service in mind as you deliberate in this Sammelan, and when you go back to your respective radio stations, I look forward to a comprehensive report from you on the deliberations which will take place, and I wish you all a very best. Let's disseminate the information, let's entertain them, let's engage them, and let's take a pledge to make India a Viksit Bharat by the year 2047. We can all contribute, and let us contribute. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Vanakkam.
Thank you, sir. The words of Honorable Union Minister Shri Anurag Singh Thakur, sir, always inspire us. He has announced 3 policy changes for CRS. We can have now, one organization can have more than one community radio station in the district, and advertisement duration from 7 to 10 minutes, and ad revenue, increase in ad revenue. I think these 3 policy changes will definitely, as the Honorable Minister has mentioned, how community radio stations can contribute in making India Viksit Bharat by the year 2047. I think these policy changes will definitely help the CRS to contribute more effectively. Thank you, sir, for these enlightening words. Now, since we are celebrating 20 years of community radio stations in India, the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting has produced a video on this journey. Please play the video.
In today's highly connected world, information is hard, especially with local communities. To overcome the information divide and disseminate news and opportunities, the community radio stations play an indispensable role in empowering community voices. The Government of India approved a policy for granting licenses to set up community radio stations by well-established education institutions in 2002. In 2004, Anna University commissioned the first community radio, Anna Community Radio 90.4 MHz, and there's been no looking back ever since. This year, we are proud to be celebrating 20 years of community radio in India. Back in 2005, there were only 12 community radio stations, which grew to 140 in 2014. The government's continuous capacity building programs for community radios has resulted in phenomenal growth in the community radio sector. As a result, there are 481 operational community radio stations across 30 states and union territories today. Out of this, 137 have been added in the last 2 years, and approximately 200 community radio stations are in the development phase. Community radio today serves as a lifeline for local communities, helping in bridging the knowledge gap.
अभी तक जो हम लोग कार्यक्रम सुनते थे वो किसी और की आवाज होती थी, किसी और का कार्यक्रम होता था। अब उन्हें लगता है कि वो खुद उसमें कार्यक्रम करेंगे, गाना गाएंगे, अपनी बात कहेंगे।
To bolster community radios, 50 crore rupees have been allocated to the Supporting Community Radio Movement in India scheme for the period 2021 to 2026. Stations operational from 2021 can receive grants from the government ranging from rupees 7.5 lakh to rupees 10 lakh, and community radio stations in the northeastern regions can receive one-time financial assistance of rupees 12 lakh. To enable ease of doing business, a complete online process for grant of permission is in place for setting up community radio stations through Broadcast Seva portal. The advertisement rate for community radios have also been increased from 40 rupees per 10 seconds to 74 rupees per 10 seconds, and the duration of advertisement on a community radio has been increased from 7 minutes per hour to 12 minutes per hour. The initial permission period has also been increased from existing 5 years to 10 years. Community radio stations have been a catalyst for social change, promoting awareness and empowering marginalized communities.
हमारा 10 रेडियो स्टेशन रे देसिया भाषा ही बाजित है। जो परिवर्तन हमें नहीं है तो वो परिवर्तन हम ले आए हैं। संस्कृतिर भितनाटे जहाँ लोप पाई जाउची ताहाको बंचाई रखिया पाई हमें यहाँ पर
Community radio stations are empowering voices and transforming lives of the local communities.
Thank you. Community radio stations are really catalysts for change, as the Honorable Minister has also announced that in coming next 3 years we will be having around 1,000 community radio stations in the country. This is how we will be able to connect the grassroots people. Now I request Registrar of Anna University, Dr. K. Prakash, to please propose a vote of thanks.
Honorable Minister Sri Anurag Singh Thakur, Sir, Honorable Minister Dr. L. Murugan, Sir, dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to one and all present here. It is with immense pleasure and gratitude that I stand before you to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks on this momentous occasion of celebrating 20 years of community radio in India. Today, we are privileged to have with us two distinguished personalities who have graciously accepted our invitation and having shared their insights and thoughts. First and foremost, our sincere thanks go to Sri Anurag Singh Thakur, the Honorable Minister of Information and Broadcasting and Youth Affairs and Sports. Your presence here today, sir, is a testament to your commitment to the media landscape and your encouragement to community